Good morning. It's Friday, June the 19th, and this is Wisdom for Your Week. What's the best investment advice you've ever received? Maybe it was a stock tip about a company no one had ever heard of that was sure to be the next Apple or Amazon. Maybe you were advised to buy a piece of land that didn't look like much at the time, but in a few years, Walmart wanted it for a new store. Of course, not every surefire, can't miss investment tip works out that way. For every tip that does work, there are probably 100 that don't. Now, while it's true in the financial world that there are no guarantees, the same is not true in the spiritual world. Solomon gives us some sound investment advice in our verse for today. Proverbs 19, verse 17 says, "He who is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward him for what he has done." Very simply put, if you want a guaranteed return on investment, here's what you do. Be kind to the poor. Help the needy. Take care of the disadvantaged. And in this shocking development, an act of kindness to the poor is like investing with God. It's like lending to the Lord. And what better place to invest our resources, financial and otherwise, than with the Lord Himself? Here's the foundation of this truth. God has a compassionate heart for the poor and the downtrodden and the disadvantaged of this world. And we see evidence of that all through the Bible. And when we as God's people demonstrate that same kind of compassion, God notices, He sees. He will always make sure that we are blessed for that act of kindness. Now, even though I have talked in financial terms, there are many ways to help the poor and many ways for God to reward us for that. Of course, if there is a financial need that we can meet, we ought to do that. James said that if we know of some need that we can meet and we fail to do that, then our faith should be called into question. So it can be material, but it doesn't always have to be. It could just be encouragement or support or to be a friend to someone in need. And whatever that act of kindness might be, God will reward it. Sometimes that reward might be financial, other times it'll be something even better. So here's the best investment advice you'll hear all day. It has a 100% guaranteed return. Be kind to the poor, just like God is kind to the poor. And that's wisdom for your week.